Hello, I'm Bradley and welcome to my channel. I'm always on the lookout for new products and things which can help me with my hair texture. Now, you might be surprised if you're usually used to seeing me with sleek, straight hair. However, I do have a bit of natural wave, but it sits really quite flat. So whenever I style my hair in this particular way, I have always been used to using hairspray-like products, freeze spray-like products on damp hair and then scrunching it and maneuvering it into how I want it to sit, but building the product and building texture. Often that can lead hair to feeling really quite crunchy, quite uncomfortable and quite stiff, but however, it looks good and sometimes I really like that look. I've been always looking out for products which can help me achieve that. When I want to style a bit of a wavy look or rock a bit of a curled look, I want it so it's a bit more softer, a bit more undone, and so it's a little bit more casual and a bit more of a Toulouse look rather than it being almost like it's rock solid and doesn't necessarily move, just shakes. Now, today's product which we're going to be having a look at is the Fish SOHO London Curl Cream Natural Finish for Effortless Definition of Waves and Curls. Now, this is a brand which I used to use when I had much shorter hair, quite a few years ago now, but I've never ever seen a curl cream by Fish. Now, I think, and I don't want to make assumptions here, I think that they are aimed at men's hair care, but on here it doesn't say whether it's for men or women. And to be quite honest with you, with this definition, okay, and this kind of clarity and really nice sleekness, but yet non-crunchy curl, this would be suitable for anybody. It's a suitable smell for both men and women. It's something you build and it's a really, really great product. So let's tell you more about it. So price wise, £8. I buy mine from Boots here in the UK. I've only bought it once. So it's 150 mils. Okay. So on the back here it says designed for effortless definition and hold of waves and curls. This lightweight formula helps keep your curls under control and minimize frizz, even in tough conditions. Formulated with curl respecting coconut and argan oil that added moisture and shine with a natural finish for healthier looking curls. How to use: for short hair, use a penny-sized amount of curl cream. For longer hair, add more until you get your desired definition. And that's what I do, and that's what I've done today. Okay, so apply evenly to damp hair from roots to ends, shaping specific areas to define waves and curls. Add extra cream with fingertips for enhanced definition if needed. Styling tip: for natural finish, scrunch curls into place once dry. Now, first of all, I did look at that and I think, well, that's just going to make my hair frizzy. Now, first time I think the easiest way to approach this is how I've styled it today. So I apply three small amounts of about, I want to say about a 50p piece. So it sounds a lot, okay? But however, I start with damp hair, okay, and I comb through just to get any knots out or anything. My hair's to about here. Okay, so damp hair, freshly shampooed and conditioned hair, okay. Use whatever leave-in products on your scalp, which you do. For me, occasionally I use a range of different scalp products, as my subscribers will know, for hair growth. So you can still use all of that. But for me with this, start off with damp hair, okay, and then with your first small amount, run it through, so all of your hands, all of your fingers, and run your hands through your hair, okay? Now, a lot of people might sort of jump at me and say, well, that's not how you get wavy hair. This is the way it works for me. Now, there will be people who think actually it doesn't work for them, and it might not work for them. For others, it might work amazingly well. So for me, I use my fingers as like a wide comb, and after I've combed it, bearing in mind, I take the curl cream and then literally pull it through my hair. And then afterwards, I flip my head over, so forward, okay? And then I just use the product which is throughout my fingers and my hands, and I scrunch my hair through with the product. And what you start to see is that you start to get a wave, not the definition like this, because we're going to do this in steps. So you start to get a loose wave and it starts to be quite flat, okay? Then go about what you're going to do for a couple of minutes. Okay, so for me, I was at my desk. I can go back to my desk. I can do whatever I'm doing. Then after about 5-10 minutes, when it's dry, go back into the bathroom, flip your head forward again and scrunch. Okay, use a little bit more. Now, at this point, when I first started doing this, I thought to myself, it's starting to go frizzy, and you do get lots of little tiny hairs across the top, because what the curl cream does with the ingredients is, bear in mind, it's not greasy and it's not like a hairspray product, but it tries to uniform and texture and to loose your hair into a real nice defined loose wave. So about the second time you go back in and you do that with the same amount of product, so just over, anywhere between, I reckon, I would say about a 50p piece amount would be fair. Okay, now you might think that sounds a lot, but it's really not. So when you go back into the bathroom, flip your head forward again, run your fingers through your hair. Now you're gonna meet a little bit of resistance. It's not gonna be stiff or uncomfortable, but you're gonna meet a little bit of resistance because the curls start to dry. Now what happens with the second amount of lotion is they start, I don't want to say clump together, but they start to uniform a curl. So you start to lose the frizziness, okay? Because at first it does give you a bit of frizz. It says that it doesn't, but I'll be honest, it does. And the second amount just starts to uniform and smooth the hair together in a really nice wave, as you can see. And then go about your business again for about 5-10 minutes. So it is a bit of a timely process when you don't naturally have curly hair like this. And then after, when it's pretty much dry, go back into the bathroom at this point, or however you style your hair. At this point, I take a little bit of lotion, flip my head forward. Okay, I go right through to the roots, and then I pull my fingers through my roots, and then I carefully come through through my hair, and at the end, I just literally scrunch things in place. And as you can see, what I end up with is this really nice, uniform amount of wavy hair. Now, my hair isn't thick, it's on the fine side, but I've got quite a lot of it, and occasionally I like to wear this style. It's got a real nice amount of movement, it's soft, do you know what I mean? I can touch it, it's not a problem, it's not frizzy. Now, as you can see, there are 1 or 2 hairs here, but you can just go back in, take a small amount of the cream. So just to recap, 3 steps. So after freshly washed, conditioned hair, okay, go in with your initial amount. I'd say around about a 50p piece. Okay, then take it through the roots, all the way through to links and ends, and just start naturally scrunching your hair, literally in that sort of motion, scrunching your hair up through, and then right up to your scalp. So literally lean your head forward, always finds that easier, and just scrunch, scrunch, scrunch all the way up to your roots, and sometimes hold it for a couple of seconds, let go. Go about what you're going to do for a couple of minutes, whether you're doing something else in the bathroom or if you've got any jobs to do around the house. And then once that's dry a little bit, go back in, use your second amount, okay, so same amount again, and then pull your fingers through your hair again, but this time concentrate on scrunching areas to get that nice texture, wave, and loose look. You can start at the roots as well, and that just calms everything down if you are starting to get a bit of frizz. Then again, go about what you're going to do for a couple of minutes, and then your last step, so I always do it in 3 steps, and your last step, take a little bit of the cream again. I use the same amount of cream, so the 50p piece. Okay, then I start off calming everything down, and at this point I literally smooth everything down and just ruffle through the hair, scrunching, calming everything down, and you end up getting this really nice definition to loosed look. Okay, I can't really see any hairs, sort of frizziness or anything like that at all, but it is a really nice look. And for me, I think it looks quite cool. I think it looks quite sharp, and it's something that I would quite happily rock as a hairstyle with whatever I was choosing to do or needed to do on a particular day. So, what's in here in ingredients? So, as we've mentioned, it's got the coconut and argan oil, okay, for added moisture and shine. So, coconut oil, a lot of people, there's a lot of hype in there for helping against heat damaged hair, dry hair, anything like that at all. Wavy hair often is more drier in texture, so coconut oil is going to be really, really great for you for that. Now, if you've got naturally curly wavy hair, but yet it just doesn't sit right, or you can't get it to sit right, or you can't get it to sit in a nice style, this is going to be a really, really great product for you to help uniform and help smooth your hair into a really nice to loose wave. If you've got really unruly dry hair, this is going to be great because it has got a really nice amount of condition which boosts the hair vitality, gives you a nice sort of, as you can see, a nice sort of shape, a nice character to the hair. I really, really like that. Argan oil just gives it a nice suppleness, a nice sheen, and just really, really looks after the hair overall. Are there any negative effects on this? Now, there aren't any negatives, however, for me, because I've got finer textured hair, I'll be very, very honest, I'm not always 100% keen how it shows my parting, and sometimes a lot of my subscribers will know if I wear my hair down, I try to have a bit more volume in the top of my hair because it's on the fine side, but I do have a lot of it, and I hate my hair looking quite fine. So even though it gives real great character here, I do struggle to achieve any sort of character or wave on the top, even if I flip my head forward to naturally give that character and volume in the hair. I find that it does just sit a little bit heavy in the root area, but yet I cannot complain because look at the character and the kind of the softness in the hair it gives. But yet, I imagine it's kind of the structure of my hair, the length is down here, so it is pulling that little bit more weight into the hair. I'm not going to say it's completely weightless because it does it sways, but I can feel a little bit of weight there from the product. It's got coconut oil in, it's got argan oil in. Those are naturally heavier oils. I don't think off the top of my head it's got any other natural oils in here. Interestingly enough, it's just run through. It's got the coconut oil in here, it's got cornstarch in here. We have got some fragrances. We have got argan oil in here, we've got wheat germ oil in here, we've got sunflower extract in here, we've got wheat bran extract, we've got camellia seed oil in here. So a bunch of all different oils and products which is going to help really look after the cuticle of the hair as well. So for me, I really, really like it, really recommend it. The only slight negative is just how it makes my hair sort of sit. It seems to take a little bit of the volume and the fullness out of the top of my hair. And for men, particularly if you are if you've got an element of thinning, or perhaps if you've got a thinner texture of hair and you don't necessarily like your crown area or the top of your head showing so much, or you could literally just flip your hair off to one side and it would naturally give that character and fullness. But for me, because it's not a wet look product, but it is a product throughout your hair, it just takes some of that fullness away from the roots area, which I quite like in my styles. Having said that, for what you gain in this nice, smooth, uniform texture, I think, to be honest, it's a nice price to pay every now and again if you want to rock a really different hairstyle. So on that note, I would absolutely say product suitable in terms of fragrance, really quite fresh. It doesn't scream coconut or anything like that in there at all, so if that's not necessarily your fragrance, don't worry about that at all. It's just a nice, fresh fragrance, which, to be honest, it reminds me of like a moisturiser smell, to be quite honest with you. It's not a strong smell at all. It could be for men or women. And as I say, for short hair, I've not used it for short hair, but short hair, I could imagine you get a really nice to loose almost like a shaggy style curl look, which would look really, really great as well. For tight curls, I'm not too sure how that would work. However, I imagine that you could keep going in for several steps if you had the time, scrunching it, letting it dry, scrunching more product in, letting it dry, scrunching it, do you know what I mean? That type of build up, so you'd get that real nice wave and a little bit more of a tighter effect to it as well. So you can really, really play with this product. So I like it, really, really would absolutely wholeheartedly recommend it. And I think that you're going to like it too. So on that note, thanks very much for being here. I really hope that you've enjoyed this clip. And until next time, I look forward to your company soon. Bye now.